Hello. I think we are live. All right. Let's get right into it. Hello, everyone. It's thomasjujube, and welcome back to another live stream. I'm very excited for this one, just purely because it's been a while since we did a live stream. I didn't do anything live in May because I was gonna stream. I was debating streaming towards like the end of May or the beginning of June, because that's when we were gonna get like information starting to come out. And that's about it. But I was kind of busy during the end of May, beginning of June, so I was like, let's stream later. So now we're here. I'm streaming. So who's in the chat? Hello, Brennan, Gabriel, McQueen Game, Emery Miller, Lintang, I don't want to say your last name wrong, Not a Good Gamer, Oma Revice, whoa, Cool Caleb, Fresh Orange, Shooting Star, X TikTok, Robot Urquhart, Brandon Shulk, aka Zenkai Buster, I guess, Peppa Cujo, Destruction X, Neo Buster 21, nice profile picture. Okay, so hello everyone, welcome. What are we going to talk about? Because I have been kind of talking about it, so we'll give a quick rundown. First off, I am going to talk about the Memorial Gear Slinger from Zenkaiger, because I did that video a while ago, and then I did want to talk about it, but obviously I could not stream about it until now, so the information is a bit old about it, but I do want to talk about it briefly. We'll probably only spend like a 5 or something minutes on it, and then after that I'll talk about Revice. I only have pictures of like Ultimate Revice, but I am gonna, as usual, I'm gonna talk about like stuff that has happened in the last month, because we got a new rider unexpectedly, and then we also got the debut of Overdemons, which I will talk about, because we were talking about the speculation before in the last thing, so might as well talk about it now that it's debuted. And then we'll talk about Donbrothers, and it's mainly just the 6th, because they're like I feel like not that much has happened. Actually, no, there's stuff with the Juto. I don't think we were like, the Juto were like barely in the last magazine, so I guess we could talk about them a bit. So okay. One more thing before we move on is I do want to remind everyone that linked in the description, make sure you check out the description, because there are a few links down in the description. First off, there's links to the images I'm going to be talking about in this video, so if you want to look at the stuff on your own. It's actually, no, they're different images, but it's still stuff that I am going to be talking about in this stream, so, if you want to look at that yourself, check out that link thing, the link thing, check out the links. But there's also like 3 links that are like my links, and one of them will take you to my twitter.com page. So if you have twitter.com, you should follow me on twitter.com, because on twitter.com I will just post whatever, like, a new episode comes out, I'll post my thoughts there, so you don't have to wait until like a live stream to hear what I thought about like the recent episode of whatever. Also, right below that, or actually I don't remember the order, but somewhere in there as well is a link to my Discord server, where you can talk with me and other subscribers about anything tokusatsu, whatever in general. So there's that. If you have a Discord account, you should probably join that Discord server. And then lastly, I have a link to my Patreon page, and if you didn't know, for only $2 on that Patreon page, you unlock exclusive access to tons of exclusive content that I've been making since I've had that Patreon page open. So like a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, extended audio editions of stuff, but also for the rest of this month, by joining at that same $2 price, you also get your name included at the end of all my videos, and you'll get exclusive early access to all those videos and the exclusive extended cuts. Sometimes you'll get little previews before I even finish the video, so you get tons of stuff like that. So if you are interested, make sure you check out that Patreon link. Someone said nice sales pitch. Thank you for the sales pitch, or thank you, thank you for the thank you on the sales pitch. So, anyways, now let's move on to the brief Memorial Gear Slinger discussion. Oh no, that is not the way I want it to be. Okay, I wanted to have this image first because I wanted to remind you that I made a Memorial Gear Slinger video. So be sure to watch that to see what I got right and wrong. But also, as we go as further into that video you get, we also talk about, or I talk about, more of the other toys, the Gear Delinger and the Gear Tozinger. And also on Patreon, I have that whole thing unedited, and I did talk a bit about the zenkaiger gear, but I cut that out for time. But it's all in the Patreon cut. So yeah. So the Memorial Edition Gear Slinger. I'm very excited for this. I know someone's gonna ask me if I bought it. Yes, I did buy it. If you follow me on Twitter, I did talk about me buying it. So there's that. The big thing for this is that they actually did scale up the toy, because there was a bit of discussion about whether or not they would scale, as I said in the video, whether or not they would scale up this thing, because recently the big thing with Memorial Editions has been we scale up the toy to be like show size, like even swords, they'll scale up swords to be the size they are to show. But we really haven't gotten a Memorial Edition gun changer since Lupin Ranger and Paddle Ranger, the Versus Changer, and the Versus Changer was not scaled up. So it was kind of a question, like, would they scale this thing up? Especially because, like, it doesn't really, like, they'd have to re-engineer something, since if you scale it up, it wouldn't work as a toy. And they did scale it up. So now, it's not 1-to-1 scale, but it is bigger than the DX, at least. So it's close to, it's closer to the show size. So I'm actually really happy with this. This in-between state. I do have another picture. Actually, let's just go to that picture now. Here you go. You can see the how it looks scaled up. So I've seen a few people that were like, how's the gears like supposed to stay in? And at least on the DX toy, I assume it's the same here. On the DX toy, the latch, those bits like in the middle you can see that stick out from the top latch, they actually press down on the gear so it can't move at all. So I assume it's the same thing here, where the latch like presses down on the gear so it actually can't move around while you're turning it. So I'm very excited for this, at least the 1-to-1 scale, because that alone just makes it like a really nice like centerpiece for a zenkaiger display, even like without any of the sounds and stuff. The sounds included, actually, before we get to the sounds, before we get to the sounds, they did talk a bit about the gears that are included. The gears included are kind of weird. Not weird, but it's like, it's just the main 5 and then like the 2022 gear. So the zenkaiger gear, or all the gears, are die cast. So that's really cool because they just look shiny and they'll be like nice and heavy, I assume. It's funny though because they released that die cast set like almost a year ago at this point. And it had a zenkaiger gear in it, so they're kind of just re-releasing that. But now the others get a die-cast version, so that's nice. They said they should work in it, but I've heard like they kind of don't really work in the DX toy, so I'm curious if like they re-engineered this thing, the Memorial, to like use the metal parts a bit easier, or it's like easier to use the metal parts, or if the same issues are there. I don't know. And then they're also including the 2022 gear because apparently, or since it was a campaign item, apparently it wasn't that easy to get. But like, I've seen a few of those on the aftermarket for like $20 each. So I guess if you really like wanted it, you could get it by now because it's not that hard to get. And then I guess they're just releasing another, and that's not like die cast. That's the thing that like bugs me a little bit. If they were gonna re-release that, I think it would have been nice if it was die cast, because everything else is die cast. So it would have been nice if they made that version of the gear die cast, and then like there's still the deluxe version, but it doesn't really matter, because it has the plastic bits. So like it would just be like the gold in the middle is die cast, I guess, and then the other bits are just still plastic. So it still works in the DX one, but it's fine. It's whatever. Then the other thing is the sounds. They shut off. This is a bit weird because we got the Memorial Kirame Changer announced like a couple weeks before this thing. And for that one, they kind of showed off like a bit more of the functionality. Like they showed off the buttons. Like it was the same like this, where it's just like a little like computer generated image. Like they don't actually have this toy made yet, or at least like, I mean, I guess they do because they have this, which actually makes it weirder because they don't show off the buttons. Like they don't show the background music, the quote button. So you're kind of just like, well, I assume those are in there because that's what every Memorial toy does. But it is a bit weird that they don't show it off when they clearly have just the toy existing. Oh yeah, here's another image of the scale up, as you can see. So I forgot I had that image in there. But yeah, it's just weird they didn't show off the buttons. That's just, I don't know. Maybe there are no buttons, but then that's really weird because then how do you trigger the sounds or the character quotes and stuff? I don't know. So on this image, they do just show off that, yes, there are character quotes in it. On the top is Kaito. I mean, it's color-coded, obviously. So on the top is Kaito saying his, I think that's him doing the roll call. And on the right is like him going Zenroku Zenkai Chowa. Like literally it has the Chowa in it that he does. On the bottom they have the Kikinoids, and then I didn't really go and translate all of them, but I assume that for Juran, Varun, and Gaon, it's stuff from their debuts, because I translated Majin's, and Majin's is from her debut. Like it's a quote she says like right before she gets the gear Slinger. So I assume for the others it's also, that's what they have down there. And they actually did give us more info about the sounds. Actually, I might as well read that info now. I do have to go find it though because it's on my Twitter. Let's scroll through Twitter. My Twitter. No, that's the wrong thing. Wait, I went past it. I found it. Okay, so the sounds included, as in the quotes. So they said, so the thing with this one is that they're focusing on just the main 5 zenkaigers. So, and like interactions between them. So there are over 200 quotes, which is about the same as the Memorial Kirame Changer, which with the Memorial Kirame Changer, it was funny. They're like, this is the most quotes we've ever put into a Memorial Edition item. And I'm assuming it's because it's just a little wrist thing. So they kind of have to make all the money come from how many sounds it has. And then a couple of weeks later, they're like, this thing is scaled up. This is a bigger gun. And it also has the most quotes in any Memorial Changer. So it's like, oh, okay, thank you for making this even more worth it. So, yeah, so they do have, on their official page, they said they are like including, they're recreating the scenes of each Kikinoid joining the team. So you can do that. They'll probably just have all those sounds and stuff, all the quotes. Then they have quotes from the first Zenroku Zenkaiyo formations. The way I wrote it here confused me. But it's the first formations of both Zenkaiyos are included, and the first formation of Zenroku Zenkaiyo. So just like every first Megazord formation. They also include the sounds from the episode of Kaito versus Hakkaiser when they're trying to free Hakkaiser from the mind control, like the final battle versus Hakkaiser in episode 40. And then they also include Kaito versus God from Zenkaiger in the final episode. And then it's the translation's kind of weird. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to say. It says like Kikinoid 4 people, excerpts from each pickup. And then it says, for example, in a cult club where Majin is seriously cut off, the Love World or something, Varun, Juran at the ramen shop with Kaito. So I assume it's just them saying, like, we also include special moments with the Kikinoids, since Kaito has, like, some special, like, he has the God scene and the Hakkaiser scene, so I guess the other Kikinoids just get a bunch of special quotes and stuff. Other than that, I mean, like, we don't really know the full capabilities of it until the thing comes out. because the one thing I really wanted was like all the roll calls. We don't really have any. I mean, we can assume the main roll calls are in here because they have the Kaito one here. But other than that, we don't really know the full roll call capabilities. And then this last image is just confirming like all the character voices are in here. Also, Sechan is in here, which is interesting. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense Sechan's in here. I didn't really think of that. But it makes sense. He's like probably involved in some of those scenes they're recreating. And then at the bottom, they just have some of the background tracks. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I know obviously the first one there is the TV version of the theme song. One of those is the roll call theme. I think that's number 4 on that thing. They do have the music that they played like every time a Kikinoid joined the team, which is why I assume it's either included because they're including all the other quotes, or just the other quotes are included because they're including this. I don't know. It's whatever. That is in here. And then like one of the last ones is like the preview, song, the song they played in the previews, which is like an instrumental of Change Zenkai. That's just in here for some reason. And then they also have like a bunch of like other not random, but they kind of have like fight like sounds, or not sounds, like the music they played in fights. So that's that for the Memorial Gear Slinger. I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited to have a toy with Miss Miyamoto playing Majin. That is going to be very fun. And then I will I forgot what I was gonna say, but I remembered. Definitely, I will be definitely unboxing this. It comes out in like January, so I will be unboxing this. They'll definitely be seeing my first reaction to opening this up. And I've got more zenkaiger unboxings on the way as well, in like a month or two. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. So before I move on, I do want to see what a few people say, because I saw a couple interesting things. Does Kamen Rider have a Memorial Edition changer? Yes, they have a lot of Memorial Edition stuff. They have Memorial X-Aid, 2 Memorial X-Aid stuff, Memorial Geo, Memorial 01, Memorial. They just had a Memorial Saber release last year, and it's like the whole sword, like it's a full-size sword. And then I assume they'll do Memorial Revice. I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, it makes too much sense to have like a Rex Vice stamp that will have Vice like yelling during the standby, and like when Iki transforms, or no, when he clicks the stamp in the belt, there's like the text speech sound. So I assume they'll do a Memorial Revice set. Do I ever consider watching tokusatsu which are not connected to a franchise, like Machine Man, Gridman, etc.? If I've watched any, what would it be, and what would be my opinion? Well, I don't know what my opinion would be because I haven't seen the show. I can't really say what my opinion would be of a show I haven't seen. I definitely do want to watch Gridman at some point, because if you didn't know, I have seen SSSS Gridman. I watched it last year because of Rika's voice actress. And then I am going to watch Dyna Zenon before the movie crossover next year. And I actually do want to watch Gridman before that same movie crossover, the original Gridman. So I will watch original Gridman at some point. I might make a video once I see the 3 of those, but once I rewatch SSSS Gridman and then the other things. This was the perfect time to release a Zenkai Red Gear, but I'm guessing they're just going to have Zenkaiser's substitute with a mode form. Yeah, that's like one weird thing that, like, I assumed they waited for this release so they could do like the Zenkaiser Black, but they didn't. There's nothing here about Zenkaiser Black. I know Zenkai Red isn't Zenkaiser Black, but like it feels like there's stuff missing, which is why I'm like especially when they don't show off what all the buttons do. So that's why it's like I feel like they maybe could have that stuff in here, but then they still didn't include the gear. So yeah, it's just really strange. I mean, I guess it's like, I don't know, the gear would be kind of weird to include in like a set where it's like we're celebrating the 5 Zenkaigers, and Zenkai Red, because he used the gun in one little special that people don't. Or no, actually, I think people do like the special, but a lot of people that really like the special are like really weird about it, and not because of because of the humans. I specifically remember someone, not to get off tangent. I am gonna get off or on a tangent off topic now, but I do remember there was like someone that said during when they announced like the Zenkai Red special and we saw the whole team of humans, they were like, this is what I wanted from Zenkaiger. I wanted normal Super Sentai with humans and stuff. And it's like, the robots really piss you off that much that they made a special making fun of like they anticipated people like making fun or being angry at Zenkaiger for not having a whole human cast, and then they made fun of those people, and then someone was like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted. It's like, I think you missed the joke. But anyways, Geats rumor, I don't know if I'll talk about Geats because there's literally nothing to Kamen Rider Geats, and I don't feel like talking about Geats. I wonder how Hasbro is going to do Power Rangers now that they are parting ways from Super Sentai. That is still not confirmed after all these years, because we still don't have anything on season 30 officially, so we can't really say they're splitting up yet. Who knows? I don't remember anything about a Memorial Saber set. It wasn't a Memorial Saber set. The whole full-sized Seiken Sword Driver, that was the Memorial Edition Saber item. It was the Memorial Edition Seiken Sword Driver. Rider Potential X-Aid when? I have no idea, but that is on hopefully at some point. Can we normalize Memorial items that play the series openings again, like the Daichi Mura Mighty Action X? That was not a Memorial item. That's just that was just a random thing they made. When the Memorial item is a whole changer, that's when they include the background tracks and stuff, because it's a whole like big thing. They can add in the new like buttons and effects and stuff. When it's just the gimmicks, they don't do that, because I assume they can't. So will I review Superhero Senki? Yes, I can confirm I will be reviewing Superhero Senki soon. But how soon? Good. I don't know. I do know, but I'm not going to reveal it. Did I watch the 2 Kaiser special? I haven't, because it's not subtitled yet, and I didn't feel like watching it without subtitles, but I do know about everything that happens with Flint and the new toys, and it's very cool. I'm very excited that it happened, and I'm very excited to actually watch the special with subtitles eventually, because I do think it is, as a Zenkaiger fan, it makes me very happy to see Flint do her thing in that special, and Zox just being Zox with Marvelous. Honestly, I'm more excited about the new Ranger stuff rather than like, oh, Zox and Flint. I mean, sorry, Zox and Marvelous are, I don't know what they're doing. Kamen Rider Abridged when? I've never done Kamen Rider Abridged, and I probably won't. When will Majin cameo again in my videos? That's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to ask her. Will the Zenkaiger gear fit in this thing? That's a great question. I'm going to guess no, because like just looking at this picture, it's too big. Like the new slot is too big to fit Zenkaiger, because I assume it's fit to fit the DX. So now it can't fit in the new one because the slot is not big enough for it to lock in. If it does, I will be incredibly surprised. But I don't think Zenkaiger would fit. So this does open the door for a Memorial Edition Zenkaiger gear, which is not good, because that gives them an excuse to make more stuff that people will buy, and that's Bandai, stop it. So how about I review it on July 22nd? That's very far away and also very specific. I don't know what happens on July 22nd. You know, June 22nd, the Scarlet Witch movie comes out on Disney Plus. But anyways, let's move on from what's it called? From the Zenkaiger thing. Let's move on to Kamen Rider Revice and Vice, the show, and we got movie info too. I just remembered, but there's like nothing to talk about with that, so I'm not gonna actually talk about that really. So, Revice, Revice has been like really kind of a miss for me in the last month or so, because it's just like, I don't know. So like, okay, so this thing is awesome, but before I can get to this thing being awesome, I do want to talk about Revice just kind of not hitting for me. And it's like, I don't, so it kind of started with Over Demons, where we last month, or like almost 2 months ago, I was talking about Over Demons, or we were all speculating about Over Demons, and I brought up the case that like everyone was talking about, where we're like, Over Demons is probably one of three people: George, Hiromi coming back, or the dad. And it was none of those people with a connection to the Demon's Driver or Veil or anything. It was instead Hikaru, the kid that was in the show since episode 1, but he didn't do anything, and now he's just a writer, and as a writer he hasn't done like anything of note. Like he became a writer and he still hasn't done anything. And it's really funny because people were like, or I remember like there was a preview and everyone's like, oh no, are they actually gonna make Hikaru Over Demons? And then he was Over Demons and everyone was upset. But then it was like, oh well, now that he's a writer, they'll probably focus on him more, like it'll make sense why he's Over Demons. And then like the next episode he doesn't even transform, he's not even a character. And then since then he's just like, he just becomes Over Demons. Like he's just like a body on the field as Over Demons, and it's just really boring to me. Like there's nothing to the character, there's nothing to him before he's Over Demons, there's nothing to him becoming Over Demons, after he's Over Demons. He's just there, and it's just really disappointing that they've just done absolutely nothing with, like, if he wasn't a writer, it's fine. He's just a character in the show. I have no problem with him being a character in the show. But then he becomes a writer, and then like there's nothing more. Like they don't develop him at all or anything. Like he's not like in the episode he becomes a writer, he's like, oh, I really want to be a writer, and then he just becomes a writer. Like, wow, good for you. You really fought hard to become a Kamen Rider. If in that episode he's like, I want to be a writer, and then they build up to him becoming a writer, then it's like, okay, there's something there. But he literally was just like, hey, I want to be a writer, and George is like, okay, yeah, here, like, you can have the belt, and now you're a writer. So that's really annoying. Then the episode after, we got also not to mention that, like, I'm still like mixed on the form. The form has actually grown less on me, because now that I just don't like the person wearing the suit, now I don't really like the suit as much as I did before, and I didn't even like it that much. I think I said like I was considering buying the Vice stamp because it makes a new sound in the Demon's Driver, and I have the Demon's Driver, so I was like, okay, I'll at least get the stamp for the toy I have. And then the debut happened, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't really want the toy anymore. Like, I completely lost any hype I had over the toy and stuff, so I'll probably get that stamp like at some point, maybe when it comes out or something, if there's like still stock somewhere. But right now I'm just like, I don't really care. So then the episode after Over Demons debuts, we get Kamen Rider Aguilera, which I'm not as upset about. If I had to pick between Over Demons and Aguilera in terms of like suit, character, like debut, whatever, definitely Aguilera is not like terrible, not that bad. The thing with me is like, she has, I don't know, like, okay, first of all, let's get the easy thing out of the way. The suit is like really weird. It looks really it just looks weird. Like, it doesn't really look like a Revice suit because it has the whole visor thing going on. And then, like, it doesn't really I don't really like the look of the suit anyways. Like, the whole white and black with some color suit just doesn't look that good to me. I just don't really like the look of the suit, but the belt's pretty cool. And actually, the belt is being sold by Team Kamen Rider. If you're in the US, you can buy the Weekend Driver for $70. That includes shipping. So if you are like, I guess I kind of like Aguilera or the belt, you should probably buy the Team Kamen Rider release, because this is huge. Like, this is the first currently airing season premium Bandai item we've gotten. Yes, it's weird. It's like this character that is like hit or miss. It's a hit or miss suit. It's a repaint belt, but it doesn't matter. It's just the fact it's like our first currently airing premium Bandai season, or first currently airing season premium Bandai American release is kind of like a big thing. So I would encourage you to look into that if you do collect the Revice stuff and you're like interested in the belt. But anyways, as for like the debut itself, I do like the fight. Like, she actually had a debut that had impact, as opposed to Hikaru's Overdemons, which had like no impact. But I just don't really like the idea of her becoming a rider. Like, I don't know. Her thing is kind of growing on me, because I even like the little twist where her Aguilera wasn't her real name, and so she switched names to Hannah. So now she's just Hannah, and now she's using the old Aguilera name as her Kamen Rider alias. I think that's kind of an interesting idea. But I kind of liked what Revice was doing, where they were like, with the 3 Deadmans, or the original ones, where Tamaki Julio had this really incredible like redemptive like arc, where like we reveal his backstory, and then like after the whole thing with the Deadmans and Olteka's betrayal, and Olteka kills his friend, and then he gets like all angry and stuff, and then he just kind of becomes a normal dude, like reforming. Because in Kamen Rider recently, it's always like when you see a bad guy, like you're kind of like, oh, so they're probably gonna become like a good guy rider at some point. Especially to become a Kamen Rider, you're like, oh, they're probably gonna become a good guy. So I thought it was really interesting what they did with these 3 characters, where they're like, Julio just becomes good, and he's just a background character. Like, I actually genuinely loved the idea of one of the big bad guys in the beginning of the show just becoming a normal dude background character in like the second half of the season. I thought that was a really interesting concept. And then Olteka, I like that they didn't do the same thing and they just straight up killed him off. I'm okay with that, because that was the way his character was going. So they were doing different things with these characters. And then with Aguilera, they had like kind of this redemptive thing happening since the Olteka betrayal. Like, she was kind of like not as willing to be evil, I guess. And you could see like when she wanted Olteka to stop killing people. So then the final push where Sakura saves Aguilera, and now she's Hannah, and now they're friends / lovers, however you want to interpret it. I thought that was really cool. Like, I was perfectly fine if we took what was essentially like the main boss in the beginning of the show just becoming our tertiary rider's like girlfriend. I thought that was a really neat idea. So then her becoming a rider, I don't know, I just feel like it kind of cheapens that. Like, it's like, oh, we're not doing that interesting thing where the villains are just normal people now. Now we have to make everyone a rider, especially right after Hikaru's Overdemons. It was like, oh, okay, so now a lot of people are just riders now. So I'm a little disappointed by her being a rider, but I will admit, like, the way they're handling it, it's fine. Like, it's not actually terrible. I still don't like Hikaru's Overdemons though. So now that we got that rant out of the side, I do want to see what some people were saying before I continue on to the good stuff. So some people are saying that Japanese fans are speculating that Hikaru became a writer because the actor's talent agency needed him to become a writer, and that, I mean, I have no evidence to dispute that or prove that, but I will say, like, I kind of feel that, like, it kind of does feel like, oh, we have to make this character a writer for some reason. So, hey, maybe maybe that is what happened. Okay, yeah, here's one thing. Someone brought up that, like, the Kamen Rider website was, like, the Weekend Driver is said to be mass-produced. That's That's so annoying to me. Like, not the fact it's going to be mass produced, but they're like, oh, you see this thing, this is going to be mass produced. We're going to see tons of these riders. Don't tell me that. Just make the mass produced riders. Like, it's so annoying. They're like, guys, this will be a mass produced rider. Just don't worry about it. Just give us a couple episodes. It will be mass produced. Just don't tell me that. Just tell me, oh yeah, Aguilera has this belt. And then a couple episodes are like, hey, now there are a lot of these belts because there's a lot of this Kamen Rider. Okay, cool. Like, I love mass-produced riders, so I would be perfectly fine if they do a mass-produced rider thing with her. But it's so annoying how they're like, oh, guys, this is definitely going to be a mass-produced rider. Trust us, mass-produced riders are coming. Just do it. Don't tease, like, off-screen, like, the mass-producing. Like, on-screen, they have, like, the mass-produced rider thing with the Demon's Driver. That's different. I'm like, okay, yeah, the show is teasing it, but the outside material, it's like, oh, maybe she will become a mass-produced writer. No, just stop that. Okay, so now I'll talk about the good stuff. The Kamen Rider Ultimate Revice. I think the name is Ultimate Revice. I actually haven't really seen an official source call it Ultimate Revice yet. I'm just assuming it's Ultimate Revice because of the belt says Ultimate up. But I also think it could be Kamen Rider Revice Gifford Rex Genome. I don't know. But this form is awesome. Like, I really love the look of this form. This might be like top 5 Kamen Rider top 5 final forms for me, because I just love the look of this form, especially coming off of Thunder Gale, which was so ass. Having a really nice looking set of final forms is really cool. Like, okay, for like just the look of it, right? The blue, the dark blue, the teal, or is it teal? No, the dark blue, the cyan, the pink, beautiful color scheme, works very well. I love the evolution, of course, off of the original Revice suit as well, or at least the Revice suit, yeah. Perfect, like, evolution of that color scheme, and the design just looks really great as well. Like, there's kind of like teeth marks on the arm, kind of. That's the vibe I get. Like, it kind of looks like the teeth. So I think that's really cool. But then I love this aesthetic that they have going with the thing, where you can see in their chest they're wearing like the original form suits. Like, they're wearing their original forms, and then like they've got this like clear plastic over it. And then, like, same with the visor. Like, the visor just looks really cool, but they have, like, this plastic shell over the like, original base form design. And I love the look of that. Like, that's such a unique, cool-looking design. And then, like, the transformation as well, like, where they visibly show it. Like, it is just, like, this exoskeleton suit on the base forms, and then they even put the helmets on, like Vice has been doing for like the whole show. Now Iki does it as well. He puts on the helmet, so it's like a helmet on a helmet, a suit on a suit. It's so cool. It looks fantastic, and I love it as, like, it works so well as the concept of these being like the same rider, kind of like Kamen Rider Revice, because they are essentially both wearing the same suits. But there's, like, just 2 minor changes to it that makes them, like, 2 different forms. And that's just such a cool concept. Like, they really went all out. Like, it doesn't feel like they went all out, actually. Like, it's not, like, a super over-the-top final form. But it hits, like, all the right notes for me, personally. And it really fits the vibe of the show, the aesthetic of the show, the dynamic between these 2 characters. So I definitely, like, this is definitely my favorite form in the season, and my favorite form for this Revice duo, of course, obviously. The jingle, I see a few people talking about the jingle. Like, the jingle, I don't know. Or the end of the jingle where it goes like, it sings Giffard Rex. It definitely, like, I like that part, but I can't really, like, hear the rest of the jingle in the beginning. So no comment on that. I don't really want to say, like, if it's good or not, but I hope it's good. I mean, it's probably going to be good. The Revice jingles have been pretty decent. Yes, someone pointed out as well, like, Vice wearing a belt is, like, that perfect, like, cherry on top evolution of, like, this dynamic where now Vice has his own belt and gimmick and stuff, where, like, we go from, like, Vice is kind of just, like, a buddy character attached to Revi, to Revi gets an upgrade, Vice gets that upgrade. They're kind of like they're hot and cold. And then the merge as Jack Revice, the upgrade of that as Thunder Gale, and now they're separated again, but now they're, like, completely individual separate, as in they both have a belt, but they also have the same suit essentially, so they're still, like, linked. It's so cool. Unfortunately, I don't think the debut was that good though. Like, it wasn't, like, terrible, but it was, like, underwhelming for me. I don't know what it was. Like, just thinking back to last year with Cross Saber, the Cross Saber debut was so good. Like, everything leading up to it was incredible. Something about the Ultimate Revice debut, like, had something missing to it. And I'm not just talking about the fact it didn't have an insert, which, like, genuinely kind of upsets me, because I love inserts for final forms, or just in general. I love if a form debuts and they play some super badass song for it as it does its debut fight. Like, that's pretty badass. I love that. And they didn't do that with this. There's no, as far as we know right now, there's no final form theme for this final form, which is super weird. Like, I don't know what happened there. Because they had inserts. They had the Go With The Flow insert at the beginning, and then, like, the episode after, they had the Volcano insert, which are both pretty good inserts. The Volcano insert is, like, one of my favorite inserts ever, actually. It is so good. And I was really hoping that, like, they had a really good Revi and Vice debut, or not debut. They had a really good Revi and Vice insert theme, duo, where they're singing to each other. So I was like, oh, they got it in the bag. They'll get a good one for Ultimate. And then they just don't have one for Ultimate. So, like, just that alone for the debut just makes it feel a bit lackluster. Like, it feels like there's something missing in comparison to other Final Form themes. Especially, it's so funny, too, comparing it to Saber, because Saber had, like, no insert themes for the whole show until, like, the Kenzan Disaster fight. And then it was like, oh, so we do have an insert theme. And then before the Cross Saber debut, they were like, oh yeah, don't worry, we got an insert theme loaded up for you for Cross Saber. And then it was the greatest insert theme of all time. So it was like a year later, it's like, oh, okay, we'll get a good theme for Revi and Vice. No, there's nothing. So that's a little disappointing. But then also, like, the story in of, like, Ultimate Revice, I just feel like there was something missing that made it, like, specific to these characters. Like, it kind of just felt like George is making this stamp, right, with his dad, and then it was like, just so happens, like, oh yeah, Iki and Vice are going to be using this stamp. Like, it didn't feel like there was nothing that was like nothing that built off of Thunder Gale. Like, as much as I don't like Thunder Gale, I think Thunder Gale had a more interesting story to its debut, because there was the whole thing with Jack Revice just being under control, berserk, and then George had the stamp, and he was like, we can use this stamp to save them, but it might destroy Vice or Iki, and then it fuses them instead, so it, like, you know, it saved them, I guess. There was nothing, so like, they established Thunder Gale was for that form, essentially, or was for Iki and Vice. There was the story behind Thunder Gale. For this, it was just like, we've got this Vice stamp, we need gift cells for it. There was nothing that really gave me the impression, like, oh, this is for Iki and Vice, like, they have to use this thing. There was nothing like, because of Thunder Gale, your guys' bond is, like, so crazy, only you can use this form, or something, like the thing where George is like, hey, you have to split it in half to use it. Here's a belt for Vice. Like, there was nothing, like, they could have done something with it where, like, we have to make Vice a Kamen Rider now because of whatever, the form's powers or something. And this is, like, the final evolution of this dynamic, this story between the two characters, where Vice is a Kamen Rider now. Like, he's reformed. He's not an evil demon. He's on their side, so he gets his own belt and stuff. But no, it was just like, George is like, here, I have this belt, like, lying in the surgery room, so now you need to, Vice has to wear this one. Like, there was no build up to that. And then like the story with the dad and the Iki's dad and George's dad, like, there was that parallel there, of course, but, like, again, like, Vice is not part of that, but he's, like, part of this form. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, it wasn't a bad debut by any means. Like, I like the fight. The visuals are really cool, just the suit visuals, and of course the fight itself. But, like, it just felt a little empty. So even though I was like, oh, finally Revice is, like, really cool again after we've been kind of in the slump with the recent form debuts, it was still like, I don't know, it was still like, again, something's missing. Like, that's basically the best I can explain it. It feels like something was missing. It, like, both in the story department and just, like, an insert theme. It doesn't feel like the same as other Final Form debuts. Like, there was more build up, there was more pizzazz to other Final Form debuts in other seasons. If you go back to Saber, 01, even Zero, they made that form debut in the midst of the beginnings of the pandemic, and I still think that was, like, more impactful than this Final Form debut. So, and I feel like I'm being very mean to Revice, because, again, I liked it. It's not like I would say it was horrible, but I just felt like there was more they could have done, and they kind of dropped the ball on that. The other thing too is, like, just the fight itself. Like, other Final Forms have been, like, I don't know. I mean, this one's kind of a bit of a nitpick for me. Like, other Final Forms have been, like, the first pushback against some kind of boss. Like, actually, that's kind of been the trend. Like, Muteki debut was the first time Cronus was defeated. 01 was the first time Arc was defeated. Cross Saber was the first time Solomon was defeated, but it was like they were just defeated. They were like, they just, like, were pushed off screen, and then they came back in the next episode. In this one, they did defeat the Hell Giftarian for the first time, but, like, he was just kind of a dude, and he's, like, coming, like, there's just another one coming back next episode. So, like, on one hand, it was kind of like, we finally, like, and they also, like, pushed back GIF. So, like, on one hand, it was like they did, like, do something, but it was also kind of like, did they? like Daiji was able to defeat a whole bunch of GIF soldiers a while ago. So, that one's, I will admit, that one's, like, a very, very nitpicky. But I do think the other ones I do think are, or at least for me, like, those bother me a bit more. That, like, I don't know, I just feel like something was missing. I know I'm saying it, like, over and over. I'm like a broken record at this point. But I do think something was missing. So, at least, I just hope we get a Final Form theme. Like, because, again, I really like Final Form themes. But the fact it didn't debut in the debut is, like, forever going to be a huge, like, miss, a blemish on Revice. Not really, because it's just a song that plays in the fight. It's not really that. It's not that big of a deal, but to me it was a big deal, and it annoys me. How is it that the part of the show that shoved a new toy every episode was better than the part of the show that didn't do it? I wouldn't say it was better. I actually don't really like how Revice shoved the gimmicks in at the beginning. I feel like this might be an improvement upon that. That is an interesting point you bring up, though. I will have to, like, actually, I can't really definitively say that for myself. I actually probably have to do a bit more soul searching for that. Not really soul searching, but, you know, yeah, they basically just beat an above average Mook, and then that was it. Yeah, they defeated the purple superhero Senki bad guy. Let's see. Yeah, everyone agrees that Volcano Rex was good, or sorry, the Volcano theme. Although, a few people are bringing up the other the other songs. Those other songs aren't like insert themes. They're just songs they played at the end of the Veil special or the other specials. So those aren't like insert themes because they didn't play in an episode. Revice already had 2 insert themes, and no more. It like even 01, they played like the one insert theme at the beginning of the show, and it just had no more insert themes for the rest of the show until the final form. So, I do kind of want to like make a video at some point talking about the decrease of not final forms, the decrease of insert themes in Kamen Rider, because they used to play them all the time. Like, there was like in Den-O, I've seen Den-O and Kabuto, and in Den-O and Kabuto they play an insert theme like every episode. Like every single episode they play like the same insert theme pretty much. And in the same with Den-O, or not the same insert theme, but with Den-O and Kiva as well. Den-O and Kiva have a ton of insert themes, and they have insert themes for like every form. Den-O has a specific special insert theme for every form. So like it felt like every fight had like this distinct energy to it because they had all of these insert themes. And then as the years have gone on, like Double's the same. Double has an insert theme for like Cyclone Joker, Heat Metal, and Luna Trigger. As the years, especially O's too. I really should watch O's because O's literally has an insert theme for every single combo change, and all of those combo changes theme, like the name of the insert theme, sounds like the form name. Like the Tatoba theme is Tighten Up, Tighten Up Tatoba. Like it sounds like that. Puto Tira is Power to Terror. Puto Tira. Like that's so good. I really should watch O's just for the insert themes. But then as years goes on, like they start dropping insert themes, like they're not as important. Like X-Aid, my favorite show, I'll bring it up. They don't use a lot of insert themes. Like they use like one insert theme, like they have insert themes for like Mighty Brothers and Muteki. They only use those in the debut, never again. Like, and that's pretty much been the trend recently. Like they'll make an insert theme for a form, like one single form, like the final form or super form. They'll use it once, never again. Or they won't use it at all. Like in 01, they made a theme for Shining Assault Hopper, and they didn't even use it. So, yeah, insert themes. I love insert themes, but they're really Revice has kind of demonstrated that the usage of insert themes for some reason has drastically decreased in the last like 10 or so years of 10 years with O's. The last 10 or so years of the franchise. So that's really annoying and sad. Someone brought up that COVID affected the 01 inserts. They didn't. They just did not make any. Like they made 3 and that was it. Yeah, and then Ghost doesn't even have any insert themes at all. The only other season with no final form insert theme is Ghost. That's super weird to me. Like Revice and Ghost both don't have insert themes for the final forms, but Ghost just didn't have any. So it was kind of like, I wasn't expecting an insert theme for Ghost's final form. Here, they had insert themes. You could have just played Volcano again. That would have been weird. But oh yeah, a family henshin. Someone said, I hope we still can get a family henshin. Maybe the father can become Veil again and the mom can borrow over demons. Someone did bring up like earlier as well that the Veil driver like just appeared and disappeared. That's another super weird thing. They made Kamen Rider Veil for one episode, and then he's just been in a special. If Kamen Rider Veil doesn't come back, like that is gonna be such a weird miss. Not even a missed opportunity, just a weird like fact of the show that they made this form that appears in only one episode and then it goes in a side special. Just Revice is kind of shaping up to be kind of a weird season. Like at a certain point in like the middle part of the show, I probably would have put it above Saber. Still not in my top 5, but I probably would have put it above Saber. And now that we have the final form, I do think it is going to be just, unless like it gets horrible as the season goes on, I think it's just going to be just shy of Saber in my rankings, because it is a bit lackluster in a few places. But back to the thing with the family henshin. Yes, if they bring back Vale, they could have the dad be Vale. And I mentioned this on Twitter. Someone made like a fun little image with the 3 siblings, the dad is Vale, and then they put Chameleon Green because Hammy's actress that was Chameleon Green in Q Ranger is the younger version of the mom in the Vale specials. So they're like, look, it's the mom as a suited tokusatsu character. But then I realized that we literally have a Chameleon Vice stamp in the show. And it has some connection to the mom because the chameleon dead man kidnapped her for that one episode and actually pretended to be her. So, like, if they wanted to make the mom a rider, they could bring in that Chameleon Vice stamp. Obviously, you can't connect it to a rider. Just give her a new rider form. You could have her use the Demon's Driver and might look like a weird form. But I would really love to see the mom become a chameleon rider. I think that would be really cool. But it's probably not going to happen because Revice is being weird. So, but the mom rider would be pretty cool. I mean, no matter what, the mom rider would be cool just so we can have all 5 members of the family as riders. But if they had to make her a rider, I would definitely say give her the chameleon stamp. Oh, yeah, and the Veil Driver still isn't announced by Premium Bandai, someone brought up. I don't know what's happening with that thing. Like, some people are like, are they even going to sell it? I mean, I feel like they would repaint a toy and sell it for a reason. Although they didn't sell the sword that Solomon used in Saber. So, okay. I don't know. Strange things. I don't know. I assume they'll release the Veil Driver, but who knows? Drive Funky Spike was only used in episode 1 and never again? Really? I feel like it was used after that. It's like Funky Spike. That's like one of his main forms. I refuse to believe that. Hold on. We're gonna Kamen Rider Drive. I will admit though, it's kind of a different case because it's just type speed with a little part swapped out. So that's the kind of thing where I'm like, yeah, I don't expect that to happen in many episodes because it's just one thing. But also, I feel like they use that in more, like, I'm checking for myself, for my own sanity. I don't doubt the information that he used it only once, but because that's like one of the big form changes they advertise in like all the marketing and stuff, I'm like, this form is exclusive to Drive episode 1. Thank you, Rider Wiki. What the hell? I am incredibly confused. I don't know what to feel right now. Midnight Shadow was used in other episodes as well. So Midnight Shadow and Flare get used in more ones, but they were like, Funky Spike? No. That, you are never seeing that again. What the hell? That's so weird. Oh my god. I know they sold Solomon's belt. I was talking about the sword. They didn't sell the sword even though it was just a repaint. Wow. Okay, so Funky Spike was in only one episode. Anyways, there's one single instance where Justice plays where Cronus fights against Genmu. I'm pretty sure there is only one instance of Justice being used, but I honestly can't even remember like Justice when they used Justice in X8. Like I feel like they did. I think it was in the fight against like it was during the Taiga surgery when Hero was operating on Taiga. I think it was in that fight. Alternatively, but like I don't know. Oh, it's also in Hasty Generations. There we go. Thank you. Humanity has been restored. Faith in humanity has been restored because Funky Spike is in the movie. See, that's just the power of the director. I forgot the director of that scene in the movie, but you know who I'm talking about if you know who I'm talking about. That's his power, that he brings that form back. So that is He sings it to himself in one scene. That's right. Yeah, he sings it, I think, like, in before Laser Turbo debuts. I don't know. But, like, yeah, they used that insert, like, once. And it's if at all. And it's a really cool insert. So, also, I do want to bring out that the actor is a really good singer. Please listen to Final Wish by Cronus' Actor. That's a really good song. I would like to hear that in something. It's just a song he made, so they can't really put it in a show, but I think it would be really cool to use that in a tokusatsu season. Perfect Knockouts theme was used in the debut and then never heard again. They even made like 2 other inserts that were like sing-song versions of the like instrumental themes, but they never used like those songs. So I don't know. I don't get why. Like, I don't get why they make these songs and they're like, we're not going to use it. Like, you made a whole song for Volcano. What is stopping you from playing the Volcano song every time Volcano is used in a form? Like, what? There has to be something going on behind the scenes, because I don't understand how they're like, we're just not going to use this song, like, at all. We made it, we're not going to use it. Like, this is just a different case from, like, making a song or making or not making a song. You've made the song. Where does it go? Why aren't you using it? Like the Hyper Muteki theme. You could use it like in the next couple of episodes. That's what Saber did. Saber did that very well, where they made Rewrite the Story, and they used it in the next 3 episodes whenever they debuted one of the new Cross Saber forms. But then, someone brought up they used the Book of Power theme, but they only used it as an instrumental. Granted, I think that might have, I don't know, maybe they thought that was going to mess up the flow of the scene, but it also, some people have edited it, and it doesn't really mess up the flow of the theme, or the scene, so I don't know. That's a different thing. But I think I really should make a video on insert themes. I kind of want to now. Like, there's so much to talk about. Same with Sentai. Sentai has the same thing, too. I'm only talking about Rider because I'm not really that well versed in like Sentai themes, but like at least from what I've seen, like Sentai they'll make a theme, they only use the theme once. Like they made in zenkaiger, like they've made themes for like all, like literally every single zenkaiger mecha has a theme, but they only used the zenkai or the Juragaon theme once, the Rumajin theme once. They didn't even use the Zenkaiju theme in the debut. They had to use the Zenkaiju theme. They used the Zenkaiju theme in the Halloween. No, it was in the Ancestor episode. That's when the Zenkaiju theme debuted. Not in, guess what? The debut of Zenkaijuo. There's something else too. Like they had like a couple unused inserts. Or they have like the Zenroku Zenkaio insert theme. They just didn't use it in the debut of that, but it's in the debut of it's in the Hakkaiser fight scene. I don't know. I'm like losing my mind here now that I'm like realizing insert themes. If we go back like 20 years to Maji Ranger, right? They made this kick-ass Maji King theme. They use it in one episode. In the debut episode. Never again. You know what? When Maji King debuts, or when it's used in like every single episode of Maji Ranger, because they don't have like any themes. I mean, any like alternate mecha forms in Maji Ranger. Like, what was stopping them from using the Maji King theme every single episode until Maji Legend, and then you put in the new insert theme? I'm so confused. Because this predates Den-O then. And this is before Den-O and Kabuto. So like the year after then, they put full force in every single goddamn fight of Kamen Rider Kabuto. So they could clearly like just stick the inserts whenever they wanted to at the time. What happened? Where did that go? Oh my god. I'm like, this is, I take it back. Ultimate Revice is a horrible form because it's made me question everything with Kamen Rider Super Sentai music. Ultraman 2, no, I'm just kidding. I don't think Ultraman doesn't really have insert themes. Ultraman doesn't have insert themes. What they'll do instead is they'll make the background music, the jingles of the gimmicks, and that just kicks ass every single time. Like, why isn't Kamen Rider doing that? Hello? Like, that's amazing. You make the Cross Saber theme like straight 30 seconds, and then like that's it. Like, you don't make that into a whole song. I don't know. Someone said rank every insert theme ever. That's a lot. But clearly they saw what Nintendo's doing with releasing their music and thought they could do that, but better, aka worse. This is what's weird though, is because they released the music. Like, the music is out there. It exists. They made the music. Why don't they use it? Guys, it's right there. You own that. Don't you use it? Maybe the kids only care about the toys and not the songs. I mean, you're showing the toys. There's playing a song in the form. I would argue playing a song during the form gets the kid to go buy the toy more than not playing the song, because you're like, oh my god, there's this cool song that plays while this form happens. So I'll go buy the toy, I'll play with the toy, and put the song on my phone so I can recreate what happens in the show. But no. We have someone said we have successfully gaslighted Thomas into hating Revice's final form. I gaslighted myself because I brought up the thing about the final forms. I mean, the insert themes. Maybe they have to pay for inserts that aren't made by rider chips or something. I don't think so, because half of these inserts are like sung by the characters, right? Like, maybe, but this is a good point, the rider chips thing. But then the Deno themes they're not rider chips. They're just sung by the actors, and they played like every other episode. So I don't know. I might have to do research into this. Ask Twitter. Twitter is smarter than me sometimes. Yeah, it might be like a TV regulations thing. I don't know, but it's like every time it's like, oh, this thing can't do this, but then this other thing does. Actually, it might be like a recent regulations thing. That's a good point. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, well, that's that's enough. That's enough. Just ranting about just whatever the hell. We're not even talking about Kamen Rider Revice anymore. We're just talking about just insert themes in general. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so speaking of insert themes, do you think the Sixth Ranger of Donbrothers will get an insert theme? Second question, do you think it will play in episodes other than his debut? So the Sixth Ranger of Donbrothers is on the way. Here's a nice little teaser we'll be seeing this is what we'll be seeing in tomorrow's episode. This is a teaser for tomorrow's episode. So really quickly, what's this guy's name? Jiro Momotani, correct? I remember this guy's name faster than I can remember any of the other characters' names. Or no, I do. Okay, what? Momotaro, obvious. Haruka the Plagiarist, obvious. I think Shinichi is Saru's name. Tsubasa is Inu's name, and then Tsuyoshi is Kiji's name. Okay, I do know all of their names. Thumbs up. This is very cool. I can remember things, I guess. So Jiro has debuted, but he's not debuted as our sixth yet. And this is just another case of Donbrothers being an absolutely fantastic little like an inverse, a subversion of the Sentai formulas, where they debut the character as, that's our Sixth Ranger. He's clearly our Sixth Ranger, but he doesn't debut as the Sixth. He's just here as a man. He's just a normal man. He just threw rocks at the bad guys. That's literally what he did. And then next episode, he's actually going to be getting the glasses and the changer so he can turn into the Sixth Ranger. So I love that. Because this is not a problem I've ever had with Sentai, but every sixth ever pretty much is a new character. They debut a new character as the sixth, which is really funny because I think like every year people speculate the sixth is going to be like some character from earlier in the show or something like that. and then it's always a new character, like every single time without fail. I'm guilty of this as well, because I thought Miho was gonna be the 6th. But like every year people are like, oh, Marvelous is gonna be the Kaiser, and it's just it's Zox. It's a new dude. The year before Kiramager, everyone thought the little blue crystal thing was gonna be Kirame Silver. No, it was just a new man. That is Kirame Silver. If you go back, Ryu Soldier, I don't think anyone speculated if anyone was gonna be a 6th. I think we're probably gonna get a new dude as a 6th. So, but Power Rangers does this. Yeah, someone brought up in Power Rangers, like, we get Nate in Beast Morphers, and then at the after a few episodes he's a 6th. But whatever. I mean, I think that's just a Power Rangers thing where they're like, they know a 6th is coming. They already have the suit, so they can kind of, put the 6th in the beginning and then plan for later. But I think it's really cool to have just a character. The 6th debuts as a normal dude, and then he becomes our 6th. Like, we actually have this arc to the 6th Ranger debuting as a 6th Ranger. I think that's fantastic. I absolutely love that. That alone, that little subversion just makes him I assume it'll be a really cool character then because of that. So then the suit is really cool. I mean, that's about it. 6 suits, pretty much 6 suits hit pretty much every time, I think, unless the aesthetic isn't good of the show. The 6th suit will hit pretty good. And this 6th suit, I didn't even say his name. Don Doraku or Doragoku. I think it's supposed to be Dragon Goku, Dragoku, Doragoku, but he's based on Goku, as in Dragon Ball. He's a Dragon Ball reference. I'm kidding. The Journey to the West myth, he's based on that. So I don't know if they did the 6th debut early in Mega Ranger. I haven't seen Mega Ranger, but it's red and gold like Kaiser. So I like it because I really like Kaiser's suit. I really like red and gold together. So I like the suit. The suit looks cool. I will say one minor little nitpick I have with the suit is I feel like it doesn't look like a Donbrothers suit. I mean, the head. It does look like a Donbrothers suit because of the head. The head is very donmomotaro-esque, so that makes it look like a Donbrothers suit. I'm not saying it looks like it's from a different show, but the body of the thing is missing some elements that fit in with the other Donbrothers suits. I think it could be the shoulder pads, or not the shoulder pads, the arm, the leg pads. They don't have that video game pad design. A lot of the recent 6, with the exception of Kaiser, because he's just a new suit essentially. A lot of the recent 6 will just kind of recolor the Red Ranger design, kind of. So I'm glad this isn't just that, but I also kind of wish it was a little bit more of a recolor, and they had either the vest kind of design on the chest, or the legs, the arms and the legs had that video game pad design. Other than that, I love the suit, or actually the buckle. He doesn't have the buckle, and usually 6 will have a matching buckle, so it is kind of just crazy. It's oh, he just has a little new buckle, because he has a completely different storage device for his gears, as you can see with this big shield thingy. Actually, there's another picture here. There you go. And there's that other thing we'll talk about in a second. So he has a different method of storage for his gears, so that's kind of why the buckle's different, I assume. But it would have been cool if at least, there was something there on his buckle that matched with the other Donbrothers. And it's also kind of because he's based on a different story. He's not based on the story of Momotaro. He's based on the Journey to the West story. So he wouldn't have that peach thing on the buckle. So that kind of makes sense, I guess. But I don't know, the number pads aren't, or the video game pads on the arms and legs aren't really specific to the story of Momotaro at all. So I feel like they could have included those as things. But other than that, it's fine. I mean, not fine. I love the suit. It's definitely my favorite suit of the Donbrothers, actually, other than the Robotaros, because those are hot. But in terms of base form Rangers, this is definitely my favorite design of the group. So here's a look at his toys. I included a few toy stuff. I usually don't, that I did because this is kind of our only look at some of this stuff. So I figured I might as well throw it in here. So here's the sword. The sword, actually, it's not a sword. It's a spear. I do want to bring up the spear is show accurate. Like, usually the toys are not show accurate, or the sword, the weapon toys are not show accurate. The guns are a little bit smaller, as we brought up earlier with the Gear Slinger. The guns will be a bit smaller. The swords will be a bit smaller. It's fine. They're kids' toys. It's nothing you can do about it. That's why, like, the 1-to-1 memorial stuff is so cool, CSM stuff, because it's like, wow, it's actually a big-ass sword. So this is not a 1-to-1 big-ass sword, but it's 1-to-1 with this version of the changer. Before Gold transforms, he's essentially going to have this toy, which is super cool to me. I just really like that little detail. Like, I don't understand why they don't do that all the time. Like, you can have the actor, the Ultraman does this, where you can have the actor hold, like, the toy, and then as a rider, it's obviously a whole big sword or whatever, but you can have the actor hold the little toy. So I really love that they're doing that. They have the actor hold the little toy, and then the show prop as a ranger, it's a big spear thing. So at the bottom left, he has 2 forms. Like every 6, the 6 are just like too powerful in every single season. They get all the stuff. So he has 2 forms. His other form is called Donmomotaro, I believe. And then when he turns into this form, he turns the spear into an axe, which I assume would also be show accurate. So that's going to be cool. And what I like that it's just like a little form change. Like, it's not like, I mean, it's kind of like Two Kaiser's thing, I guess, where he just gets armor, because the early rumors said he would have like 2 forms, like Lupin X and Patron X, and for Lupin X and Patron X, like, it's just like he completely changes like forms and stuff. Like, it's 2 different rangers. Here, I assume they might refer to them as 2 different rangers, like Dontorable, Doragoku, like they have 2 different names, but visually it's just a form change of the character. He just gets a new shield and helmet, and I think that's really cool. I really like that. Obviously, I prefer Don Doragoku because it has the red, so it just looks much prettier. Don Torable, the white it keeps the red, so the white and silver kind of feels off. Maybe if they had that, and maybe if in the show that changes to white, it would look better. But in this picture, you can see it's still red. Like, he keeps the red bits, so I think that one's gonna look a bit weird. It's gonna be kind of like I assume like Two Kaiser Shinken form was beautiful on him because he has all the red, and then Two Kaiser Oren form just looks off because it's all this blue and white on this red and gold suit. So it is kind of like the same thing like that. I guess, I mean, it is just kind of like Donbrothers is a sequel to Zenkaiger. Let me prove it to you. The 6th Ranger is the same color scheme, does the same form change thing, and I'm okay with it because, fun fact, I actually love Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, so I'm okay with the sequel taking elements from it. I'm going to take a brief drink of water. Let me show, we can look at this thing. I think this is the last image. So this is Don Tortabolt's alter form, or sorry, Don Doragoku. I'll have to hear how he says it in the show because I feel like it's either Don Doragoku or Dragoku because it's like a dragon. So, anyways, this is his alter form. The bottom right is his alter form. So he just changes to green. His alter form. He's a green dragon. I don't have the picture here, but he has an alternate form, like he's like a transformer. He changes into a little green dragon. So I think that's pretty cool. I really like the look of the alter form. I actually considered buying the alter form because I just think it's a cool dragon transformer. Maybe I will buy it at some point. And then it's gonna combine with the Ninja alter. I don't know why I didn't use the other image, actually, because the Ninja Alter is just kind of... I mean, I like the combination of the... I like the look of the combination, I like the look of the toy, whatever, but I feel like the alternate form as a dragon is the more interesting thing. So, and a lot of people have been pointing out that there's like Tommy vibes from Power Rangers, because his base form is Dragon from Power Rangers, the Dragon Ranger, the Green Ranger. He has an alternate form where he turns into a tiger, which is like Tommy turning into Kiba Ranger, the White Ranger, based on a tiger. And then the dragon has a green form, which is just like our Green Ranger, which was a dragon, or the Dragon Zord in MMPR. So maybe it is a Tommy Oliver reference. Oh, and even in like one of the set that goes with his toy stuff, the Sentai gear set, or the Alter gear set, Avataro gear set, I mean, that goes with his toys, and then the gear that's included with like one of the changers, I think it's a shield thing. It's the Dragon Ranger and Kiba Ranger gears, which are Tommy's Green Ranger and White Ranger form. So I don't know, maybe they are doing the Power Rangers thing, or maybe it's just sheer coincidence. I have no idea. I'm not gonna say for sure because I have no idea, but it's whatever happened here, it's still pretty cool. So as you can see on the shield, his big shield device, he has you can see his Robotaro gear, kind of like they put a glare over it so you can't see what the Robotaro form looks like, or not. Yeah, I guess it's his Robotaro form. I just realized that it would be like another form for him. So we're gonna see that next month, I believe, the Robotaro form. So yeah. That's about it for Donbrothers with all this stuff. We don't have like any other stuff from like the show, because there were different the magazine that we usually would get information from was off this month, so Revice stuff was like we got like Ultimate Revice and stuff before that magazine came out, or there's a different magazine where we got the Revice stuff, and then we haven't gotten like more stuff on the 6th, so we don't know if he's gonna avatar change, but I would assume if all this marketing has like at least Dragon Ranger and Kiba Ranger, he's probably gonna avatar change into at least those two dudes. I mean, I don't see why not. So I am curious to see how that avatar change will happen, because it doesn't seem like he's gonna use it with the spear. It seems like it happens with the shield, and I don't know how that works. So I'm interested in that. I think that would be cool. Or should be cool. And it's also going to be cool because he's going to be like avatar changing into different colors. Like he's a gold ranger with red and then white and silver in different form, but he's going to be changing into a green ranger. I mean, he also has a green form, so I guess that makes sense. And then like he can theoretically change it to silver rangers, gold rangers especially. You can change it to a couple orange rangers like that. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Also, I think it's funny that we got, like, when this guy was revealed, like, we got the standard thing with people that are like, oh my god, we got another gold ranger as our 6th ranger, and it's like, guys, we've been getting gold rangers as the 6th for, like, 10 years now. Gold and silver rangers. I don't know why people are surprised every single year. It's like, at this point, it's like, oh man, we're getting a pink ranger as the woman on the team. I was really hoping it would be a man. Well, I got great news for you. Avataro Sentai Donbrothers does have a man as some pink rangers, so you're in luck. But yeah, he looks cool. I'm looking forward to his debut. In terms of Donbrothers in general, Donbrothers is just continues to be absolutely fantastic. The debut of Don Oni Taijin was absolutely fantastic. I was tweeting about this. Don Oni Taijin, the concept of him being like the 5 Rangers combining and then um growing. Like he has to grow. He uses a separate little gear to grow is crazy to me. Like that is so cool that we have our mecha has to grow like an Ultraman or something. Like that's so cool. I love that. And then like the twist in the recent episodes where what's his name, Senoi just kills Taro is so crazy as well. I was expecting him to be absent for a few more episodes because he's coming back like next episode. It seems like he's being revived. I was kind of hoping they'd like save that for a bit. Like, okay, I was hoping that they would have Jiro. He shows up, and then he becomes Don Momotaro for like a few episodes, and then however they get Taro back, then he becomes Don Momotaro again, and now Jiro upgrades into Don Doragoku. So that's why it kind of looks like Don Momotaro, because he was Don Momotaro, and now he's a different kind of like a different variation of Don Momotaro, I guess. And it also explains the red. But no, I guess we're just getting Taro back, and he's just turned into a different ranger, which is fine. I have no problem with it. I don't know. I kind of would have liked to see it play out maybe a bit differently. And then, well, other than that, we don't really know what else to expect in Donbrothers. The only thing we know for sure that's coming on the way is, I'm not sure if it's next month or the month after, but Don Murasame is gonna be showing up at least. And I'm interested to see what's going to be going on. What is going to be going on with that character? Because, well, the show is established that like the Dons are from the Noto world. Taro was from the Noto. He was from Don clan. We know that Jiro. We don't know if Jiro is from the Don clan, but we know at least he's from the Noto world as well. So presumably Don Murasame is also going to be from the Noto world. So presumably Don Murasame is also going to be from the Noto world, but like he's probably going to be like a Juto or related to the Juto. Like it seems all but confirmed that he's going to be related to the Juto, because the Juto are so interesting. I love this little just this background plot like we have going on where we're like, here's the Juto, they have really cool suit designs, and then they're just gonna like what's his name, Senoi just slashes at it like every couple of episodes, and he's like, damn these Juto, and then that's it, that's all they do. But like that's fine, because we're teasing something to come with them, and I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with the Noto, or I mean the Juto, because there's something going on with them. I feel like Don Murasame is gonna be like one of the Juto on that bus, and he like acquires like some special form or something, and then he starts like leading the Juto like against the Noto and the Donbrothers, because like the last episode established that like I guess everyone that was on that bus is now possessed by a Juto, because we've seen that policeman that just like runs around in the green screen room. And then we got that one woman last episode as well, and they look the same. So presumably all of them are one of those variants, or they look a little bit different. So Don Murasame probably, like, I really hope he like leads like an army of, oh man, what if it's like the Noto, or no, not the monsters have like those foot soldiers that are just the dudes in spandex. Imagine if Don Murasame like has foot soldiers, which are the other Noto, like those Juto monsters, the cat one or whatever. Like that would be kind of crazy to have that as like a foot soldier suit. They probably only have one of it though, so I don't think we're gonna see something like that. But either way, definitely, I'm looking forward to Don Murasame. I think Don Murasame he's gonna blow the show wide open. Like there's gonna be something crazy with that character. Probably also going to be a new character. But it's still going to be really cool. And also still we have the stuff with Miho where she's a Noto as well. Or sorry, a Juto. Which is funny. I think I speculated that I speculated that Donmomotaro was from the Noto world, so at least I got that correct. But I thought that Miho was also from the Noto world, and no, she's the opposite. She is a Juto. So yeah, that's crazy. She's probably not going to be Don Murasame because I think it was confirmed in like a leak or something that Don Murasame is male. So unless they have some weird thing where Miho's Juto leaves her body and then just inhabits a male body and now it's Don Murasame, I don't think that's going to happen. We do have the penguin Juto. They've established that's a thing that's going to happen. I don't think it's the penguin Juto though, because like it's a shark form. Murasame, same is shark, same desu. So I think I mean maybe it's not like a Juto. It's like a Noto that leads to the Juto, because what's his name? The one dude said that the Juto shouldn't be in this world. So maybe there's like, so someone would have had to let them in, obviously. So maybe we have the Dawn clan, which are deserters of I mean, it might be another Dawn clan member that deserted the Noto, and because he hates the Noto world, he wants to destroy them. So he's letting in the Juto into this world to destroy the Noto world. Honestly, that's what I'm going with now. That it's some other member of the Dawn clan that was exiled by the Noto, and in anger now he wants to destroy the Noto, so he's allied with the Juto. There we go. That's my Toku theory of the day. Is Don Torabolt counted as a different ranger or power-up form? I believe he will be a power-up form. We'll have to wait and see like his designation, I guess, like in the show. Because I assume it's a different form because he's not like Lupin X Patron X. Like he's the same dude on the same team. He's just getting new armor. So I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh well. Oh yeah, some people have said Kaito is gonna be the Penguin Judo. I could see Kaito being the Penguin Judo because zenkaiger black, penguins are white and black. We don't know what Kaito's deal is right now, so I could definitely see him being the Penguin Judo. I don't think it will be Murasame. Yeah, it would have been cool to get another red as the 6th. I mean, I feel like, they kind of like went with that with all the red highlights. But obviously he's not entirely red, so I can kind of see. I mean, he's obviously a gold ranger, so you can't really interpret him as in this picture you could interpret him as a red ranger, but in any other picture he's not a red ranger. So yeah. Since Dora Goku can have an altar, maybe he can form up with non-Oni Taijin. I don't think so because the altars are tiny. This is going to be like the same size as the Donmomotaro one. So he's just going to be a little baby dragon. we do know he's getting another mecha, and that is probably going to combine with the non-Oni Taijin. So yes, Ho-Oh Soldier has been officially confirmed as the 6th Ranger of Q-Ranger because of the Sukai Gokai unit, whatever, in the Flint special, the Gokai Tukai special confirmed that. So that's pretty cool. Although I feel like there was another book actually before that confirmed that. And also there was some other thing that confirmed it as well. So I was one of the people that said that Ryu Commander was the 6th for a while, so I do have to concede, yes, that Ho-Oh Soldier is the 6th now. So yeah, I took an L. Unlucky. Um, I hope the show delves more into the sequel aspects of Donbrothers, like having Kaito tell him about Kikaitopia and the Kikinoids. I mean, this isn't that Kaito, though. He doesn't know about Kikaitopia and the Kikinoids. Like, even before the show started, they said, this is an alternate dimension Kaito. I think there's more to that. I'm still going with my theory that this is a world that was created by the usage of the Donbrothers gear in Zenkaiger. When Kaito used that gear, somehow that created, like, a little pocket dimension inside of the gear, and that's why the world is like so weird and stuff, like with the Noto and stuff. But it's not the same Kaito, so he doesn't know about any of that stuff. He just knows how to make coffee. I wonder what a Hitosuki based off Zenkaiger would be like. That would be pretty cool. I mean, it would probably look like Zenkaiger. The way I'm imagining it is, I just think of the another zenkaiger from the superhero Senki movie, but I assume it's not gonna. I mean, it would look different. Have I seen who the monsters of the week is for Donbrothers tomorrow? Yes, I have. I've seen, myself and a few others were speculating for a while that he would be the next, or not the next monster, but he would be a monster. So it's pretty cool to see that that is true. He is being a monster. There's that's probably like crazier than the Sixth Ranger debut. I feel that is happening with that character. So I think it would be sick if the Kaito we were seeing is God from Zenkaiger. I don't think it's God either, because I mean, I don't know what he's doing. And he's like, well, we freed all the worlds. I guess maybe I'll just make a new one and I'll just chill out here. I'll just do a little trolling in this alternate dimension. I mean, maybe he's doing a little trolling. I feel like it's more likely to be God Zenkaiser than Zenkaiser normal Kaito, but I don't think it's either of those characters. So oh yeah, complete style gigantic. I didn't put in here because it was kind of last second. I already made all this stuff like before that was announced. But also, I mean, we don't have any interest in that. Or, I mean, not interest. We don't have any info on that. So, we can't really say what. I don't know what it'll be. I'm seeing a lot of people say that it could be complete, like a line of show accurate weapons, which would be really cool. Not for my wallet, so I'm probably, unfortunately, gonna have to like not buy any of that. I mean, I don't buy complete selection modifications anyway, so I'm just not even doesn't matter anyways. But I mean, I like complete selection modification stuff existing. I like looking at it. I like watching reviews. So if they do a whole line of big weapons, I would be okay with that. I would like seeing the reviews and the stuff, whatever. If Team Kamen Rider can manage, because they import like every complete selection modification at this point, basically. If they can manage to import in those like full-size weapons, if it is full-size weapons, if they can manage to import that stuff, that will be crazy. I would actually consider buying a few of that then, because it would probably be significantly cheaper. So yeah, that would be crazy. I would personally hope for, I mean, I kind of hope for, but also I don't want to spend money right now. I would really like if they did a cross saber. I would 100% buy a cross saber because I love cross saber. So a full size cross saber would go hard. I would love that with my saber display. Have a cross saber. I would probably figure out something like to get it on the wall. Like I'd have a wall mounted cross saber, full size cross saber. That would be incredible. That's the only thing I could really think of, because honestly, I don't feel the need for like full sized X-Aid weapons. Like I love X-Aid. I don't really need full sized weapons from the show. Like maybe a full size Gashikon breaker, because that's just the X-Aid weapon. Maybe a full size Gashikon key slash would be pretty cool because of because Muteki wields it. But other than that, actually, I would like a full-size Gashcon Sparrow too, because I really like that weapon. But other than that, I don't really have any like, oh, I really need this full-size weapon. If the Donbrothers universe is a pocket universe accidentally created by Kaito due to use of the Donbrothers gear, there should be alternate universe of the other worlds. I mean, I don't know what you're saying, but when I say it's a pocket universe, I'm saying like it doesn't. It only exists because he used it, because this gear is special, because his dad made it and it has this unique design. The other ones aren't like that. They just give the powers. This gear summoned a whole dude, and I'm assuming by summoning this dude, it also created this whole world that they don't know about. Ooh, the final villain being a Go Ranger monster would be pretty cool. That feels like something they would do, make the final boss a Go Ranger monster. Or at least like one of the last monsters a Go Ranger monster. Momotaro isn't really dead. He's in another universe with Zenkaiger in episode 48. I don't know why you're saying episode 48, because there's nothing that really implies he's in episode 48 of Zenkaiger. I assume you mean episode 42 when he actually appears, and even then I don't think that's the case, because this is what I'm thinking was happening with Momotaro and his disappearance. Is he was killed, or not killed, but he was attacked by Sonoi the same way he does with him and Sononi did to like those other monsters. He disappeared the same way, and even when he came back, he disappeared the same way. But we didn't get that visual of the glass like shattering, like we did with those monsters. So every time we've seen a Noto kill a monster, we saw this effect of like them in a glass cube, and then it breaks. So it's like they are dead. We didn't see that with Momotaro. I don't know why I keep saying his name like that. We didn't see that with Taro when he was slashed. So I assume he has been taken to like whatever dimension that is. Maybe it's the Noto dimension. It's a different dimension. It's a cube dimension. Everyone is just in a cube, but he didn't die. He hasn't been slashed. So then, when he comes back in the latest episode, I'm thinking it's like the same thing, like when the Donbrothers are just somewhere out there in the world, and then the gun shoots, and then they're transported to the fight. I'm assuming it's like the same thing. Momoi's in whatever world he's been transported to, and then when there's a fight happening, he's transported back to our real world to fight the monster as Donmomotaro. Once that's been completed, he's sent back to wherever he came from, just like the other Donbrothers, except in this case it's into a different dimension where he's like kind of dead. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I don't know how they're going to get him back at all. It could be like Don Dorogoku does something to get him back, possibly. But yeah, I have no clue what's going to happen with that. Both Donbrothers and X8 have something to do with video games, so it's possible for a crossover, maybe, because they did the Deno Donmomotaro little special video series, because they're both Momo. That's it. But like I don't know, they don't really go like video game theme heavy. Like it's like a video game, but it's not a video game straight up like X8. So I could see it happening, but I don't think it's very possible or very likely. I wonder if there's going to be an Akiba Ranger Hitosuki. That's possible. We could get one of those because Akiba Ranger is like, they keep making it semi-official. Oh yeah, there is a Go Ranger altar in the Dawn Blaster. Yeah, I do remember that. Maybe it's the movie monster then, and it's like the Gokaiger movie where they combined with the Varidun. Maybe they fight the Go Ranger monster in the movie, and then they get like there's a Varidun like altar for Donmomotaro, I guess. Do I think we'll get a third party of villains? I mean, that's the Juto, right? The Juto are the third party, and they're gonna be led by Don Murasamya, I assume. Like, that is the third party. We had the Noto, technically we have four. We had the Noto, the Don Brothers, the monsters, and then the Juto. Have I seen the leaks about Kamen Rider Geats? Yes. I don't really look into it that much because leaks this early kind of don't mean anything. We're too early for leaks to be like very, oh yeah, this is what is happening in the season. But from what I've heard, I'm not really too thrilled because like the leaks of like what he looks like, and some people have drawn it, and it's really good art that they've drawn, but the form that they're drawing just looks like build to me. So I'm like, are we really doing build again? Which, to be fair, is kind of what I was thinking with Saber when Saber was leaked, but then I love Saber and I bought all the toys. So this could be that again. I'm like, oh, it's build again, and it's not really build again. But right now, just first impressions, I'm like, oh, what is this? Why? It's just build. Like, it just looks like build. And especially too, like, there's another rumor too that's like we're gonna get a bunch of riders with like the Gaims. With this worries me though, because I love Gaim and Saber's thing with the emblems on the sword driver or the different swords, or the Gaim faceplates. I love the Gaim faceplates, and there's a rumor that we're getting something like that in Geats, which really worries me because I like faceplate gimmicks in Rider, and I don't need to be spending that money. So other than that, I don't know, it's just like I really hope he doesn't look like build. What's wrong with more build? If they made a new build thing, I wouldn't care. It's the fact it's a different show, not called Kamen Rider Build, not related to Kamen Rider Build, and he looks like build, or he has the same idea as build. That's annoying. I don't want another thing that looks like build. If you just want more build, give me more build. Just make a new build special or something. Oh, and yes, everyone's sad about Kamen Rider Shinobi not being true. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be the next season, but oh well. When they talked about future Sentai figure arts, they mentioned the possibility of more figures from Rangers other than Reds. Any hope for the Kikinoids? I've said this many times. If they make a Majin figure art, I will die because I will have to buy it. If it's her civilian form too, I will die twice. I've said, if they make a Majin figure art in a Ranger form, I would consider buying two. If they made the civilian form, I would 100, unless it's like in a multi-pack or something, I would 100% buy two and just keep one box just to have it boxed. So, yes, Majin figure art, please, Bandai. I think I say this like every stream because someone asks a question, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Majin figure art, please, Bandai. At least the memes are funny. That's true. I do like the the Shinobi memes. I hope they do something for Shinobi. If you haven't seen my Shinobi review, I did mention like at the end, like, and everyone talks about this, like, it annoys me that they had the little theme. No, they had the thing at the end where they were like, look at all of these rider design, all these concepts we've made for Kamen Rider Shinobi. And you're not going to see it ever. It's just that, what happens with all these writers in Shinobi? God, who knows? I don't know. The writer of the shows, that's the guy who's talking. It's like, I have no idea. You're not going to know. So I hope they do something with Shinobi. Obviously not a full show at this point, but I hope they give us a little special. I mean, I never thought they were going to do a show anyways, but I hope they still do like a special or something that just goes over, give us like whatever they were kind of implying happens like after the little mini special, because I don't understand. Like, there's nothing wrong with the mini special until the end of that, and it's like, wait, there's more here. Where did it go? Can we see that? I want to see that. Geo was airing at the time. I'd be like, you can just cancel Geo and just give us the rest of the season that you've clearly planned out. It's perfect. I'm perfectly fine with that. Hell, you could finish Geo and then give us the rest of the season. I'd be fine with that too. But, oh well. We got skill issued. Bandai moment. Or no, Toei moment. This would be a Toei moment. So. Oh well. we have been going for like an hour and 50 minutes, so I'm probably gonna sign off here soon. So if you have any last questions, feel free to ask said questions in that little chat box. There's this nice little chat box here where you can say, it literally says say something on the YouTube screen, so you can say something and maybe I will answer it, and then I will leave forever. I'm just kidding, not forever. I'll be back. Oh, actually, yes, I'll be back kind of soon. I can't officially say that I'm going to be streaming July 6th, I think. I need to double check because I can't remember when my own channel anniversary is. But I think it's July 6th is, oh, I have to go on the YouTube app. I think July 6th is my channel anniversary where I do the usual, oh, come on, you're not going to sort in order, YouTube? This stupid website. This horrible website that I do business on. There you go. No, not that. Not past live streams. I already know what the past live streams are. Date added oldest. What is this? Yes, it is July 6th. Okay, July 6th. I'm going to be doing the big 5-year anniversary stream. We're going to be going for a while. I have some plans. We might not talk about the news for that month, but maybe we will. I don't know. We'll have to see, but I definitely can confirm we are going to be getting the stream in less than a month. I'm going to be doing a big stream July 6th, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. Anyways, let's see what's the chat saying. So, how do I think, or do I think Kaguro will return, and how do I think he will return? I definitely think he's going to return at this point. It seems like they're hinting he'll return, especially since he kind of had a lackluster thing. I didn't even talk about Daiji earlier in Revice because I was so into the final form insert theme that I was getting into. But yeah, Daiji is kind of getting trashed by the show and the writers, so it's whatever. If all the X-Aid writers fought in their human forms, no Gashettes, who would win? I mean, Kuroto is like insane, so I think he would have to win. Like, Kuroto seems to have like combat training or something, so I feel like he would win. Parrot maybe, because he's like a bugster. I assume like no bugster abilities are allowed as well, so I still think it's Kuroto. Maybe Snipe, though. Actually, Kiri is like a, I don't know, Kiri, who knows what Kiri has been doing. Although I feel like Snipe's military pants give me the idea that he has like military training, so maybe there's that. What would a zenkaiger Hitsu King look like? Oh, the King robot. I mean, I think it would look like Zengoku Zenkaio. I've seen fan art of that where like they made a Zengoku Zenkaio Hitsu King, and like they have like the panel that opens up. It has like 46 instead of 45. It looks really cool. So like that, exactly like that fan art. I hope the six Donbrothers mecha will. I can't read this sentence. I hope the 6 Donbrothers mecha will be ahead in 2 eps after debut, but is it work in my opinion? I don't think it's gonna debut 2 episodes after his debut because the toy doesn't come out until like June. I don't think we have a date when the toy comes out. It might be like August or something. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna debut in June at all. So we have a bit for the final mecha. I mean, not the final mecha, the 6 Ranger mecha, which has kind of been the trend recently with mechas for the 6 Rangers to debut a little bit after the 6 Ranger debuts. What's the oldest Sentai or Rider item you wish I wish I could get? For Rider, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it would be for Rider. Maybe the Deno belt, the CSM Deno belt still, because that's pretty cool, but it's not that old, so it's not like that big of a deal to me. I don't know. For Rider, that's a good question. For Sentai, 100%, it's a Maji Ranger mecha, Maji King, Actually, no, it's just Maji King. I would really like Maji King. Taiga feels like he has a gun kept in his lab coat. Taiga probably has just a normal gun in his lab coat. Have I heard the main theme of Street Fighter 6? I have not, because I've not played a single Street Fighter game, so I haven't really been looking into that news at all. Favorite Metal Hero series? I haven't seen Metal Heroes, but I really like the red ones, and I mean this completely, like, unironically. The red designs I've seen in Metal Heroes are really cool looking. Do I like Revice? Because it seems like I don't. I do like Revice. I think Revice is a cool show. I just feel like in recent episodes it's kind of dropped off and been a little bit lackluster. But the middle part of Revice, like, was really good to me, and I hope they can at least, like, as long as it doesn't end horrifically, I'll like Revice. It'll be a decent writer show in my opinion. I just feel like it's not as good as it could be. I think it would be really interesting if the leaders of the Noto world know that their world is a pocket dimension. I feel like there's something going on with the Noto and the whole. If it is a pocket dimension, like I'm saying in the gear, then they probably are aware of it being a pocket dimension. Like, the whole Noto world probably has something to do with the fact it's a pocket dimension. Favorite anime series? SSSS Gridman. I mentioned that earlier, but obviously, I mean, not everyone was here earlier. But yes, SSSS Gridman is my favorite anime because it's really cool. I really liked Gridman, even though I haven't seen the original Gridman. I just thought the show is really cool. It looks very beautiful, like animation wise. It's beautiful animation. The fights are beautiful. I love the tokusatsu elements, like all the mecha stuff and the mecha designs of stuff, even though they're not mechas, you know what I mean. And then like, I like the references, all the Transformers references. As a Transformers fanboy, that really gets me going to see that in a tokusatsu. And then the little cherry on top is that Rika has Majin's voice. I do want to make a as I briefly mentioned earlier, I do want to make a Gridman, just a whole Gridman video, like, not individual stuff, probably just one on the original show, the anime, and then the 2 animes before the movie comes out. Like, I probably won't be like a big review thing like I usually do. It would probably just be like I don't know, some like brief, this is me talking about Gridman. I don't know. How would Momotani obtain a spear to henshin to Don Goku? I have no idea, because we don't really know how the Don Brothers... I mean, we know the Don Brothers had, like, that weird app on their phone, and it gave them the glasses, and then that, I assume by extension, is how they get the guns, or the Don Blasters. So I don't know. It could be the same app. It could be something different. We still don't know where the technology has come from. So who knows? Would I like the gears to summon them or become them? I assume you are referring to, like, the Avatar gears, like, in general. I like the summons, kind of. I don't know. I think the summons are cool. I mean, both are cool. I don't really mind either version of it. So, what is the next Rider season I want to watch? I have no idea. I think I have spoken about it on Patreon, I believe, but I don't know. That might change because I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. I don't think Momotani doesn't have either thing, I think, because he would have used it in his debut against the Noto instead of throwing rocks. I don't know why he would throw rocks at them when he has the toys. And he doesn't even have the shield weapon in the next episode as well. So that seems like something he's going to have to acquire individually to be able to avatar change and form change. Which Transformers series do I like the most? Transformers Prime. YouTube's been recommending me a lot of Transformers Prime clips recently, and I keep watching them. And I think I really want to go and rewatch the show because I really love Transformers Prime. I've always loved Transformers Prime, Now that I keep seeing clips about it, I'm like, oh no, I want to watch it again. Even though I've already seen it like 3 times. I want to see it again. It's so good. Do I miss the Dawn Brothers using more Avataro gears? I don't know. I mean, it was a cool gimmick, but I never really I never was like, oh, I can't wait to see this avatar change in this episode. But when they don't use it, I'm not like, oh, I miss the avatar changes. I don't. The fact they're not using them as much, I don't really mind. If they brought them back, I wouldn't really mind either. It's cool either way with me. I'm very indifferent on the avatar changes as opposed to people who are like, it's so funny. People were like, oh my god, this show is ripping off Zenkaiger, or not Zenkaiger, Gokaiger, because the gears are Gokaiger, they're Gokai changes, even though they're not really Gokai changes, and then they haven't used them in like 10 episodes, and it's like, guys, can you stop making a big deal out of every little thing? But I guess that's just the fandom, any fandom for you. Do I think the alter gimmick is good or just a waste? I like the alter gimmick because the way they've been using it is it's like in place of the Megazord sometimes, because it's like a little mecha line. So they have like a little line of like a separate mecha thing, so you can have the normal mecha fights, and then we have a little bit of something else happening. So I really like the alters. I think it's a cool concept. Also, like, because I mean, they have it's kind of like that's where we got the normal mecha combos, and then Don no Taijin is just a normal complete robot. So that's really cool. If I could henshin into any rider form, which would it be? Obviously it's Hyper Muteki, because I am Hyper Muteki. Come on. Which would I rate about the mecha of Dawn Brothers? 1 out of 10. Definitely like a 9 out of 10. Don no Taijin, very spicy. Don no Taijin's very good, and then the others are also, the individual components are very good. I hope that Dondora Goku's form is able to deliver on the beauty of the Robotaros in this season. Oh yeah, this is Inua's solution to fans who state that they're sick of seeing gold and silver. I don't think Inua has anything to do with the design of the characters, though. That's like a Bandai thing, or the higher, like, Bandai or higher ups in Toei. Like, I don't think he's just the writer. He doesn't write what the stuff looks like. They're just like, I assume they're just like, yo, we got this character on the way, and he's like, okay, and then he smokes a cigarette, eats a piece of raw meat, and then he writes whatever is happening. Has the CG Ranger grown on me? Do I think they're handled well? Yeah, I think they're handled fine. I mean, they're still like the same, like, oh, it looks weird, but I think the insanity of it has grown on me. Hyper Akamuteki is in red. That's a pretty decent name. I like that. If I was an X-Aid rider, what gacha would I use? Hyper Muteki. Is Momotani 2 Sentai, or is he 1 Sentai with 2 forms? He's 1 Sentai with 2 forms. Oh, I didn't even mention this, that like he was talking about this thing where like he has a voice in his head, and I'm assuming the voice in his head is either gonna be like he's gonna change personalities as Dondora Goku, or he's gonna change personalities as Don Torable. One of these two is gonna change his personality, I think, because of the voice in his head. And I'm assuming maybe like Taro has the same like voice in his head, and that's why like he has the whole personality change as donmomotaro. I assume it's just because like Jiro is more outspoken. He's voicing to us the thing in his head, but I assume it's the same thing with Taro. He has like a donmomotaro voice in his head that then takes over when or is louder when he's obviously Don Momotaro. Do I think the alter Dondora Goku will be CG? Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't be CG. The other alter is CG. The whole thing is just CG. If I had to choose 3 alt forms for my zenkaiger, which ones would I want? I only see myself with like a Maji Ranger upgrade form. Other than that, I wouldn't have any like alternate forms. Favorite Dawn Brothers characters so far? Um, it's I like lost my voice there. It's definitely Kaito, because like just of the zenkaiger connection, just the fact we have a zenkaiger character in Donbrothers is kind of crazy. Or in the season after is crazy. I really like the mystery that's going on, both in terms of like how does he connect to zenkaiger, like the show, but also just like, I mean, he's kind of cool, like where he just shows up, fights, and then he disappears, and he's just chilling there in the background all the time. I think that's really cool. But second, I would actually say Sononi, or Sonoi, not Sononi. Screw Sononi, she's bad. Sonoi is really interesting, but like actually all the Noto in general are interesting. As I've mentioned, like every single live stream, I'm gonna keep mentioning it because I love it. I love the versus ranger aspect of this, where we have our main team of rangers. That is our main team of rangers. They are the good guys, and then we have the secondary team of like pseudo rangers that are bad guys, but they're like bad guys. They're bad guys because they kill people. They're actually doing like the same thing our heroes are. They're just not killing people. So Sonoi, Sononi, Sonoza, those three. If we remove Kaito as the fact, I really like him just because it's like zenkaiger related. The Noto in general are like my favorite characters because I think just again in concept they're incredible. Yeah, and the designs are really cool too. The designs are cool. The Noto, the transformation sound when they transform, because that's what that means. That sounds really cool as well. They actually announced their bracelets on Premium Bandai. And I want to buy it, but I can't because it's like a lot of money, but I do really want it. I might buy it eventually. But yeah. So I think with that, I'm gonna leave it here because we've been going for over 2 hours now. My voice is tired, and I'm gonna start like rambling like an insane person if we keep going. So thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. This was really fun. We had a lot of fun conversations. As usual, be sure to check out the description. We got the link to my Patreon where you'll be able to check out the upcoming videos like very soon. Link to my Twitter where you can hear all my thoughts on like everything, and then link to my Discord where you can hear even more of my thoughts on everything. If you have a question that I wasn't able to answer here, I have a Q&A channel in my Discord server specifically to ask me questions, so you can ask me questions there. So with that, I hope to see you next time in the anniversary stream next month. Thank you for watching.